Detective Recap here. Today, I'm going to explain a sensual drama film called 50 Shades of Grey. Rich with depravity and sadomasochism, this movie adds a twist to the usual love story. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. 21-year-old Anastasia Anna Steele is an English literature major at Washington State University's Satellite Campus. Meek and mild-mannered, she contrasts the direct and driven Christian Grey, who is the 27-year-old billionaire entrepreneur she's set to interview. The man sits atop his towering skyscraper, ready for his 10-minute interview with Miss Kavanaugh. But Kate Kavanaugh, Anna's roommate, has fallen sick, leaving Anna to interview him in her stead. Kate teases Anna about her wholesome outfit, and in turn, she kisses Kate's forehead before taking her leave. At the lobby of Mr. Grey's office, Anna is greeted by a plethora of beautiful blonde women wearing sleek and fitted attires. Already, she's feeling out of place with her more homely-looking ensemble. It's quickly made clear that Anna's not like other girls, she's badly dressed. But on a more serious note, Anna sticks out like a sore thumb because she contrasts the professional and self-assured women there with her more fidgety and awkward demeanor. One of the women directs Anna to Christian's room. As the door opens, Anna abruptly trips, interrupting Christian's contemplation by the window. When Christian approaches her, Anna is immediately dazed by his overwhelming yet eloquent aura. Throughout the interview, Christian intently stares at Anna, making her feel uncomfortable. She monotonously reads out the questions that Kate had prepared, which are unoriginal, to say the least. But after Christian's answers, Anna always has her own little quip for them, showing that she has a heaping spoonful of bluntness to go with her awkwardness. For instance, she asks Christian to what he owes his success, and when Christian answers that he's good at people, Anna retorts that maybe he's just lucky. And when Christian emphasizes that he has a way with knowing what makes people tick and harnessing talented people's efforts, Anna correctly and openly surmises that he's a control freak. Instead of being offended, Christian seems amused by Anna. Given his status, it's likely that there's not much people who have the candor to speak against him. Besides, Christian seems to wear his control freak title with a badge of pride. Almost forebodingly, he tells her that he exercises control in all things. After Anna asks if he feels passionate about the charity projects he does, Christian dismisses the projects as a smart business move. Unable to hide her disapproval, Anna doubles down on her question and proposes that Christian cares more than he lets on. He replies that some people say he has no heart and they say that because they know him well. For the next couple of questions, Anna stumbles over her words and even mentions that Christian's adopted, which she quickly apologizes for. This prompts Christian to ask if she has an actual question for him. Then, Anna clumsily blurts out, "Are you gay?" making the both of them chuckle awkwardly. Anna apologizes for the question, explaining that Kate wrote it, but Christian does reply that he's not gay. At this point, Christian sits down, instructing Anna to forget Kate's questions and ask him something that she wants to know instead. Anna then alludes to an earlier statement that Christian made, that there are people who know him well. Anna says that she has a feeling that that isn't true. This strikes a chord with Christian, who's growing more and more fascinated by Anna's unexpected defiance and her astute mind. One of Christian's secretaries comes through the door to inform him that his next meeting's coming up. However, Christian abruptly cancels this to spend more time with Anna. With Christian saying that he wants to know more about her, their roles switch, and Christian's now the one asking questions. After asking her about literature, her education and her plans after college, he offers her a place in their local internship program. Anna is flustered by this, and she says that she doesn't think she'd fit in. When Christian asked her about literature, it wasn't just him flexing how cultured and well-read he is. He may have made a connection between Anna's interest in literature and the way she tried to see if there's anything behind his enigmatic and loveless facade. It's either Anna's an optimist who sees the good in people or literature has taught her that there's always something more behind that rich and smoldering jerk you're talking to. When the interview concludes, Anna steps out of the building, unbothered by the rain. Finally, she feels that she can truly breathe after their intense meeting. The following day, Anna goes to work in her job at Clayton's, a hardware store. Anna receives a call from her mother, who informs her that she won't be able to come to her graduation, much to Anna's disappointment. Suddenly, her boss calls her to help in another aisle. Anna follows him and is surprised to see Christian Grey right then and there in her hardware store. After getting over her initial shock, Anna assists Christian with purchasing a couple of peculiar items, including some cable wire, tape, and rope. At the checkout counter, Anna mentions that Kate had a hard time clearing a photo of him. To this, Christian offers to have a photo shoot, and he invites her and Kate. The photo shoot is held at the Heathman Hotel, where Christian is currently staying at. There, Anna's photographer friend, Jose, holds the photo shoot. Right after, Christian invites Anna for coffee. Christian asks if Jose's her boyfriend, noting how he would look at Anna. Then, he confirms if she's together with her boss at Clayton's, and Anna chuckles before saying that she isn't. As they go for coffee, the pair starts talking some more. It almost feels like a repeat of their first encounter. Anna remains as blunt and awkward as before, while Christian behaves like he has control over the conversation. Still, Anna never fails to point out that he's high-handed, and he'd refute her by saying he's used to getting his way. Christian then tells her to tell him about her family, so Anna does. She talks about how her stepfather raised her and how her mother is on husband number 4 as she's an incurable romantic. When Christian asks if she's romantic, too, Anna offhandedly says that she has to be since she's a literature major. In the middle of her talking, Christian cuts her off, saying he can't do this before offering to walk her out. As they walk outside, Anna asks if he has a girlfriend, and Christian responds that he doesn't do the girlfriend thing. Suddenly, a biker almost hits Anna, so Christian pulls her out of the way. She closes her eyes when he touches her face, but Christian softly tells her that he's not the man for her and that he has to let her go. With a look of hurt, Anna bids him goodbye and walks away. Later that evening, Anna receives a package from Christian. Kate reads the note aloud, which contains a quote about how women know of the dangers of relationships because they read novels telling of them, and Anna identifies it as a quote from Tess of the D'Urbervilles. When she opens the package, she finds first edition copies of 2 Thomas Hardy novels, including Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Though she's stunned by the books, she resolves to return them, saying that they're too much. Frustrated with Christian's come-and-go behavior, she drinks. True to her name, Anna has a steely personality herself when provoked. She's not interested in tolerating a wishy-washy man like Christian, especially after he got her hopes up then dipped when he realized that she's a nerd. Kidding aside, it's clear that the two are at odds with each other. Anna's a believer of romance, and she's looking for something serious while Christian is daunted even by the prospect. At a bar, Anna and her friends have their graduation celebration. She drinks a lot more than usual then goes to line up for the women's bathroom. There, she spontaneously gives Christian a drunken call, sarcastically thanking him for the expensive books before informing him that she's returning them. Noticing her strange speech, Christian asks if she's been drinking, and when she confirms this, he orders her to go home. After calling him bossy, Anna starts doing impressions of Christian ordering her around and flip-flopping between wanting her to come closer and demanding her to go away. Despite Christian's adamance to know where she is, Anna refuses to tell him then hangs up on her phone. After a few seconds, Christian calls her, telling her not to go anywhere. It's a wonder how on earth Christian managed to figure out which bar Anna's in. Does he have IT guys on his beck and call ready to track her down? Is he just creep extraordinaire? We may never know. Later, Anna steps out of the bar to get some air. Anna is shivering from the cold night when Jose follows her outside and puts a denim jacket over her. Suddenly, Jose confesses that he's always had feelings for her. He asks for a kiss, but Anna refuses. Insistent, Jose holds her tight to try and get a kiss from her, but Christian steps in just in time to push Jose away. Anna abruptly vomits on the ground, and while Christian's tending to her, Jose disappointedly walks away. Christian tells her that he'll take her back to his place, but Anna's worried about leaving Kate alone. To assure her, Christian says that he brought his brother, Elliot, along to tell Kate he's taking Anna with her. On the dance floor, Kate and Elliot are already dancing and having a good time together. Anna suddenly passes out, and Christian takes her to his hotel room. When Anna wakes up, she's wearing a different set of clothes. On the bedside table, there are 2 blue pills with a note "Eat me" written next to them and a glass of orange juice, which also has a note that says, "Drink me." As always, Christian has a high-handed approach with people, and it even shows in the way he wrote his memos. Anna complies with the notes, and Christian walks in from his morning jog. Anna is surprised when she finds out that Christian had undressed her and changed her clothes, and even more so when he reveals that he slept beside her. But Christian assures her that they didn't hook up since he's not into sleeping with corpses. After handing Anna a piece of bread, Christian takes his shirt off in front of her. As he gets on top of the bed with her, he comments about how if she were his, she wouldn't be able to sit down for a week. The two are locked in an intense moment, and Christian starts clarifying his intentions. He doesn't get involved in romantic relationships since his interests are very singular. Now, it's becoming more and more apparent that Christian's preference lies in something more sensual. But if he's just in it for the hookups, then it should be easy for him to just say it outright. Later, the two of them prepare to go outside with plans to meet again that evening. Christian flirts around with Anna, telling her how he wants to bite her lip. However, he says he won't be doing that without Anna's written consent. This takes Anna aback, but Christian saves the explanation for later. They enter the hotel elevator, and as soon as the doors close, Christian can no longer restrain himself, and he starts kissing Anna. But their little session is interrupted when the elevator doors open once again to let in several businessmen. Christian and Anna arrive at her apartment. There, a naked Elliot and a barely clothed Kate are hooking up on the couch. With an audience there, Elliot puts his pants back on before telling Kate, "Laters, baby." Christian finds this funny, so he decides to mimic his brother. Looking at Anna, he repeats "Laters, baby" in the same tone. Once the grays are gone, Kate starts interrogating Anna. But Anna only reports that Christian had just kissed her once and nothing more, and she comments on how odd everything is with him. It's hard to blame Anna for being confused. After all, it's not every day that someone tells you that they need your written consent to bite your lip. Consent is fine, but written? That feels like overkill. Then again, everything about Christian feels like overkill. During her shift at Clayton's, Anna can't stop thinking about what happened earlier, and she can barely contain her excitement for her upcoming night with Christian. Finally, evening comes, and Christian's driver, Taylor, goes to pick her up. Taylor takes Anna to the very top of a building where Christian is waiting with a helicopter next to him. As Christian buckles Anna onto the helicopter seat, Anna's heart starts to race when he moves his hand near her stomach. Adding to Anna's surprise, Christian tells her that he will be the one to maneuver the helicopter. The two of them head out and they hover through the night and over New York City. The two of them eventually make their way to Christian's place. There, he makes Anna sign a non-disclosure agreement, keeping her from telling anyone about their relationship. Afterwards, he takes her to a door down the hall. He calls the room his playroom, and Anna wonders if he's talking about his Xbox. Cautious, Christian emphasizes that Anna can leave any time she wants, not wanting to make her do anything against her will. Catching wind of his odd cautiousness, Anna demands him to open the door. Finally, Christian takes his well-kept key and opens the door, revealing a striking room with red velvet walls. In the room are several kinds of toys and equipment ranging from whips, cuffs, collars, and more. Anna is stunned into silence, still processing the wave of emotions flooding her, while Christian worries that he might have upset her. It was certainly a jarring thing. Anna seems like the kind of woman with modest sensibilities, so this is a lot for her to take in. Not to mention the room is just flat out tacky, so maybe she finds it too gaudy for words. He begs Anna to say something, and finally, Anna asks if women do those things to him or if it's the other way around. After answering that he does it on willing women, he explains that he's a dominant, and he wants Anna to be his submissive. He wants her to surrender herself willingly and completely to him. Despite his explanation, Anna's still having a hard time following, and she asks what she'll get out of being a sub. To this, Christian confidently replies that she'll have him. He adds that Anna would have to stay in a room of her own wherever he is for 3 days a week, and the two of them won't be sleeping in the same bed. When Anna asks what would happen if she declines these conditions, Christian says he'll understand completely, especially since he believes himself to be incapable of forming romantic relationships. After all that, Christian starts discussing the contract. There will be a contract specifying everything Anna would and would not be willing to do. This is when Anna admits that she's never slept with anyone before, much to Christian's surprise. Hearing this, Christian decides to be her first, and with that, they hook up. Early in the morning, Anna wakes up without Christian in bed, just as he promised. Unaccepting of this, Anna looks for Christian, and she finds him playing the piano in the living room. Anna coaxes him by approaching him naked, and they hook up again. After that, Anna succeeds in having Christian fall asleep next to her. Finally, after many days of going back and forth, the two get a part of what they want from each other. Christian got to be Anna's first, and he got to sleep with the woman who intrigued him so. As for Anna, she plucked out a semblance of romance from Christian. Later, Anna makes breakfast for Christian while wearing nothing but her top. She dances to some music while cooking, unaware that Christian is watching her with great amusement. Later that day, Christian's mother makes an unannounced visit, interrupting yet another session between Christian and Anna. After greeting his mother, he introduces Anna to her. Christian's mother is pleased by this as Anna's the first girl that he's introduced to her. She then leaves after their brief encounter. When Christian and Anna get the chance to talk again, Anna asks how many women have stayed in Christian's apartment, and he says 15. Anna's taken aback, but she explains that she doesn't want out, she's just not keen on being whipped in Christian's red room of pain. She starts asking if they can go to movies and dinners, but they're not Christian's thing. Still, he cups her face, promising her that if she agrees to be his submissive, he'll be devoted to her. But the more Christian makes it clear that their arrangement is unconventional and unromantic, the more Anna gets put off. She quips about wanting to hold on to her free will before asking Christian if she can go home. Despite her undeniable attraction towards Christian, Anna still has her sights set on what she wants. She's not difficult to please, she just wants to have a normal relationship with the man she likes. Ironically, Christian's offering her something that runs a little deeper than romance, which is devotion. But ultimately, they're still at odds with each other. Before heading to Anna's apartment, Christian brings her to a lake, where he tries to convince her to agree to be his submissive. Christian starts telling Anna about how one of his mother's friends made him her submissive for 6 years ever since he was 15. This is a troubling bit of information. Christian was clearly underaged when he's thrusted into the world of sadomasochism. Still, he plays this off as if there's no problem with it. After their detour, Christian drops Anna by her apartment, where he hands her the contract. For the next couple of weeks, Anna has been reading through the contract and researching submission, dominance, and sadomasochism. The contract contains a tedious number of rules to keep both parties in an agreeable position so neither can be harmed. Meanwhile, Christian has been continually showering Anna with excessive and lavish gifts in order to get her to say yes. Eventually, Anna plays a joke on Christian, telling him that she doesn't want to go through with it. This offends Christian, so he decides to barge into Anna's apartment. In an attempt to convince her, he hooks up with her again. But this time, Christian adds some ice to their foreplay. Though Anna's enjoying herself, she's still unable to come to a decision. Eventually, Anna arrives at an alternative solution that does away with the contract. She'll be the one to negotiate the terms. Anna suggests this to Christian, and he welcomes it. However, instead of having an informal dinner, Anna insists on discussing the terms over a formal business meeting. For this, Anna turns up in Christian's office in a sleek and enticing maroon dress. During their negotiation, they clear off most of the more extreme practices involved, and Christian even offers to take Anna out on a date once a week. She'll get to decide where to go and what to do during their dates, pleasing Anna greatly. With that, Christian tries to convince Anna to stay so they can hook up again. However, Anna just pretends to seduce him, trying to frustrate Christian. And just as Christian is ready to pounce on her, she leaves. With Anna exploring more with Christian, she's growing more and more confident in her skin. She can take a bit of charge now with their intimate affairs, and she even has Christian blueballed. As for Christian, he's slowly learning to compromise. The time for Anna and Kate's graduation comes, and Christian Grey is the guest speaker at the ceremony. After receiving her diploma on stage, Anna shakes Christian's hands as the others do. Once again, he tries to persuade her to go through with the contract, and Anna gives him an okay. She then chuckles and steps down the stage. Later at Anna's apartment, Christian warns Anna that the next time she rolls her eyes at him, he'll spank her. Christian then motions Anna toward the door to reveal a brand new car that he bought as a graduation gift for her. Anna is absolutely flustered with the expensive gift, and without noticing it, she rolls her eyes. Because of this, Christian leads Anna back into the living room, and he slaps her backside a couple of times. But right after this, Christian has to leave for his office, so he goes, leaving Anna confused and disappointed. Anna then receives a call from her mother, asking about her new boyfriend, and Anna sadly admits that it's complicated. Aside from being unromantic, Christian is also a very busy person. Though their unlabeled relationship has its share of thrills and glamour, they're still, at their core, very different people with very different priorities and interests. The following day, Christian finally takes Anna into the red room. Christian orders her to put her hands above her head, and when he does, he starts undressing her. Then, he ties her hair in a braid before telling her to kneel in front of the doorway every time he comes in. He retrieves a pair of leather cuffs and a riding crop, and with the crop, he lightly spanks Anna several times. This dispels Anna's fear about the practice as she realizes that there won't be any real harm. Christian then sets up a contraption so that Anna's hands would be tied to the ceiling. With Anna completely vulnerable, the two engage in intense and vigorous lovemaking. After they've had their fill of each other, Christian carries a tired Anna to her room, and he kisses her before he leaves. Now that she's alone again, she starts realizing just what she had agreed to, and she suddenly feels how lonesome it is to lie in bed without Christian. The next evening, the Grey family is set to have their dinner. Elliot invites Kate, and Christian invites Anna. During the dinner, Christian continually touches Anna's thighs and crotch underneath the table, unbeknownst to all the other guests and family members. Through a conversation between Anna and Christian's mom, Christian finds out that Anna will be leaving for Georgia to visit her mother. With how Anna purposely kept this from Christian, it's almost as if she's spiting him. She could be showing him that he doesn't have full access to her, especially with the current state of their relationship. Frustrated, Christian excuses himself and Anna. Once alone, he carries her over his shoulder and spanks Anna again while expressing how annoyed he is. Setting her down, Christian kisses her and tells her that she's his, but Anna eventually pulls away from him. She expresses her desire to have a normal romantic relationship with him, her desire to touch him and know him since he's still so closed off. Anna tries asking him about the scars on his chest, but Christian just says he had a rough start in life. Later, Anna is asleep when Christian sits on the bed. Solemn, he talks to the sleeping woman about his birth mother, who was a crack addict and an escort. Though she's been dead for most of his life, he says that he can still remember terrible things. Now, it's evident that Christian's had a very troubled life. All the tragedies in his life forged an impenetrable guard around Christian, and it's one that Anna wants nothing more than to chip at. Eventually, Anna arrives in Georgia to be with her lovely mother and stepfather. One afternoon, Christian shows up out of nowhere there in Georgia, surprising Anna. He takes her to fly in a small plane, and they enjoy their impromptu time together. Anna tries to convince him to be more romantic, but he suddenly receives a call from work. With that, the man leaves in a hurry. After returning home, Anna continues seeing Christian, and she keeps consenting to the intimate acts between them. However, she's also continually frustrated by Christian's emotional coldness. In an attempt to understand him better, she tries asking why he wants to hurt her and punish her. Christian refuses to answer at first, but eventually he erupts, snapping that this is the way that he is and that he's 50 shades of messed up. In the heat of the moment, Anna tells him to show her what he wants to do to her, to punish her and show her the worst, so she can finally understand him. Christian takes Anna to the playroom, and there, he whips Anna's buttocks 6 times, making Anna cry. Upset and disgusted, Anna realizes that Christian is the wrong man for her. Because of this, she breaks up with him. Anna walks to the elevator, and when Christian tries following her, she firmly tells him to stop. And with tears in Anna's eyes, the elevator door closes. While 50 Shades of Grey is known for the whips, cuffs, spanking, and everything in between, its core story is about two people who can't be together. Christian knew from the start that he can't be the man that Anna needs. If he just listened to his instincts, then he would have spared them both the heartache. But at the same time, their time together were some of the moments they had. Still, even if what you want is each other, it's hard to make things work if you're looking for different things. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.